Hello, I am Karen Rodriguez, and today is a pleasure for me invites to my final presentation to C1.4. The topic for today is a social cause and is gender-based violence that refers to harmful acts directed at an individual based on their gender, especially for women and girls. That includes physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse. And also, I wanted to say that they play role in gender power imbalance and cultural norms. Normally, victims' autonomy and security often tapping them in cycles of fear and silence. Like the background that I have in that case is like the historical and structural roots that has historical foundation in patriarchal structures that traditionally positionate like the men in roles of dominance and women in roles of subordination. And also it's important that like cultures like culture system have normalized a certain forms or ways or violence like respect to the women's lives, bodies and agents and subordinate to those of men. And also for the other hand I have the cultural stereotypes and social condition. That is like the gender roles, often rigid and stereotypical, reinforce social acceptations, and also men are socially to display dominance, control, and aggression, while women are like often expected to embody traits of passivity and compliance. This role step in cultural narratives increase the prevalence and social tolerance of abuse behaviors, particularly without like the intimate relationships. And for the other hand, I wanted to say to the socioeconomic variance and dependence. That is like economic instability exhibits as individuals with limited financial resources or education often lack the means to escape abusive situations. So, economic dependence on abuse partner, like combined by poverty or lack of access to resources, creates a significant or a meaning barrier to safety for many victims. Okay, the third point that I have is implications. For example, health consequences. That this give us like a physical, psychological, and social consequence for victims, like physical injuries, sexuality, transmit infections, and common among like the survivors. Psychological can lead to several mental health issues, including post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. Like respect to the economic impact, the economic tool of that is strategic pricing, health and cost, legal expenses, social service, and productivity losses. And also, for instance, studies indicate that survivors may face challenge, sustain employment due to physical injuries or physical disorders, like which can disrupt their career profession and financial independence impact in our community. And also it's important that children exposed to like GBV, that is the gender the based violence that is like are more like to face emotional and behavioral difficulties, like in in some may perpetrate and suffer from similar violence in adulthood, and also like perpetual structures inequality that is dismissing the capacity of women and like the genders to access education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. This depends socially gender gaps that is like further engage in harmful gender and norms and recycle the progress toward true gender inequality. And also that is importance the last point that is importance of addressing gender-based violence. I have that, for example, a fundamental human rights issue that is an effort to fundamental human rights defining individuals the right to live free from violence, fear, and discrimination. And also that is a crucial to upholding principles or dignity, justice, and equality, which are essential for any progressive society. For the other hand, I have society progress, and sustainable development. That is, like nationals cannot reach their full potential if half of their population is like marginalized, victimized violence. So yes, important point that is breaking the cycle of abuse and trauma, like legal reforms through education and cultural change can disrupt or restructure. In that case, the intergenerational transmission of trauma and prevent future occurrences. That is like early intervention and comprehensive support system for victims are critical to change social norms and reduce tolerance for abuse behaviors. A society where individuals are free of from fear and violence is one where people can feel engaged in and contribute to social, economic, and political life, leading to a more resilient, cohesive, and purposeful society. So, in that case, understanding this type of roots like system inequality, partial norms, and economic dependence, focusing only on immediate outcomes often misses the change to prevent future cycles of violence. So here we have like lessons learned from understanding issues like gender-based violence. That the first one is importance of early education from an early age is a powerful tool in preventing violence, teaching young people how respect, consent, and equality can instill values that help reduce the gender-based violence and foster healthier relationships. The second one is economic independence empowers, that is like for at-risk groups, especially women, plays a significant role in breaking the cycle of abuse. Financial independence offers more choices, making it easier for individuals to live more abuse situations. Okay, and for the other hand, we have the community support that is the best, like the more important in that. That is like communities that provide not judgmental support, excessive resource, and safe spaces for survivors make a profound difference in in their healing journey and reduce social stigma. So the other one we have the a key that is like affect. This is important and affects physiological, mental, economic health. So, meaning comprehensive response that address these aspects are essential, like medical, legal, and psychological support, combining pride survivors with a stronger foundation for recovery. And the last one, that is empathy, that is increasing social awareness and empathy can help dismantle stigmas like surrounding of gender-based violence, and also this forest an environment where survivors feel safe, is keeping health, and where the broader society is more vigilant and constant and proactive against violence. So in that case, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope that you enjoy my presentation for my last cycle. Thank you so much.